Do you know how much you've spent on prop firms? What about the most resets in a single day? Or what's triggered your worst prop firm streaks? Because I know mine and I'm going to share them with you right now. I thought this would be kind of fun, but honestly, it's already feeling a little more embarrassing than I had expected. Price action just wasn't there again today for my setups, so no trades for me. I thought that lately I've been looking really disciplined on here. I've been sitting out on choppy, bad days. I've been sizing down when I needed to, and I've finally been able to accept small losses as part of the process. But this past weekend, I was reminded of some of my worst degen behavior when I asked my husband to set up the two-factor authentication on Apex for me so that I could cancel an account. Uh, Basically, it was going to renew right away, and I've tried to do it a few times, and I go in there and it's like, scan this QR code, do this, and I look at it and I'm just like, "Ugh, I don't want to do this. I'm like, I hate that stuff." So I asked him to do it for me because he's much better with that stuff than I am. So he goes, "Yeah, sure." And he's in there, he does it, and I'm like, "Okay, great." And then after he did it, I don't know if he clicked on something or it took him to the dashboard that showed like my all-time history. I didn't even know this was on there. So it showed him the entire history of what I've spent with Apex in the over a year that I was trading Apex. I think it was probably about a year and a half on Apex. So I saw him looking at that, and right away I was just like, "Oh, don't worry about that. Okay, thanks." And then he's like, "No, what is this?" And then he realized what it was. And then I saw him go and copy all of it. And then he went into my chat GPT, pastes it in, and says, "Hey, can you add up for me how much I've spent on Apex?" And then I was standing there, I was just like, "Oh God," because I don't even know what I've spent on Apex. $5,271. And that was just on Apex. I kind of couldn't stop thinking about it, and apparently neither can my husband because now he likes to just randomly say $5,271 to me. Like he remembers the exact number that he saw on the screen. So when my husband wasn't around today and the price action sucked, I got curious and I decided I'm going to see if I can log into my old Topstep account and see if I can figure out what I've spent with them as well. The total for Topstep, and this was shocking to me that it was more than Apex, was $6,053. Yeah, not good. I did get two payouts with Topstep. I'm not exactly sure how much, but somewhere in the combined $2,000 to $3,000 range. So offsets it a little bit, but still a lot. Now, what my husband didn't realize and what I didn't, and I'm probably not going to tell him, is that those totals were actually in US dollars. And since we're in Canada, that exchange rate makes it worse than the numbers on the screen. Yeah, so $15,500 Canadian in, I guess, coming on close to 3 years trading prop firms. Oh, and then the $90 that I spent almost 2 months ago on Take Profit Trader. I switched to them. I just felt like it was better for my psychology. They had 40% off and no activation fee, which they still have. If you want to check them out, I've got my affiliate link in the description as well as my code, one trade a day. It'll just get you whatever their best offers at the time. And it helps support the channel because I get like 10% of what you spend with them. So just to give you an idea of how bad it got with the prop firms, I dug into those stats a little bit deeper. Also, because in some of your comments, when you talk about blowing up accounts or like, "Oh, I reset 3 times today," stuff like that, I always think like, "Oh, I must have had days where I've, reset like 5 times or 6 times." My worst day with Apex was November 27th, 2022, and that was 6 charges in one day. So that likely means 5 blown accounts. And then on the sixth one, I probably, closed it with a little bit of money on the day. Somehow, again, Top Step was even worse because my worst day with them was 8 transactions, and I remember that because it wasn't that long ago. It was this January, and it was yeah, so that would have been all full price resets at $49 each. So that would have been 352 American dollars, so $550 for me in one day on Top Step. Yeah, so I think that's pretty bad. And it was right after that um, that I was like, I got to change something. This isn't working, and I need to get serious about my discipline. Now, none of these bad days and all this money spent on prop trading, prop firms, was me trading responsibly, sticking to a plan, using proper risk management, having a budget. It was tilt. This was all my emotional trading and just, yeah, really bad tilt days that added up to quite a bit of money. So, yeah, my prop firm tuition bill is a little bit embarrassing at just over 15,000 Canadian. Painful, yes. Worth it? Honestly, yes, because like I said, that last bad day is what forced me to get more serious about my discipline and really look at where I was going wrong and why I kept having these same issues over and over again. Um, do you know what you've spent on prop firms? Let me know in the comments if you have a rough idea or if you want to do this sort of sadistic thing that I did and actually get the numbers of what you've spent on these prop firms. Or maybe you don't want to know, and that's completely understandable. I just want to remind you also that I have a bunch of free resources. There's one on strategy, but then the others are entirely about discipline and preventing tilt and tracking your trades. Those are all free. They're on Buy Me a Coffee. Link is in the description. So yeah, I like to print things. Like I said, I'm sick of the apps. I'm sick of like the technology. So they're just like very easy, print friendly PDFs. You download them, you print them off, you use them. And yeah, if you're using them, I'd love to hear from you on how it goes and if you're able to stop yourself from going on tilt or, you know, learn something new about where you can improve on your discipline. Thanks for watching the video. I know it's a little bit different today talking about the prop firm stats. If you liked it, leave me a like, comment, subscribe. And like I said, I'd love to know what some of your prop firm experiences have been and if you know what your stats look like as far as how much you've spent or, how many accounts you've gone through. So I'm really, really hoping that I get to take a trade tomorrow. I feel like this is probably looking like I'm just the most boring trader on YouTube here. Just like, oh, no trade today, no trade today. Hopefully one tomorrow after the news comes out and then I can get back on track with daily trades. All right, that's it for me. I hope you had a good trading day and I will see you back here tomorrow.